Technically 4, but you guys don't know that. So yeah, we're gonna try again.
Yeah, we are going to try again, and let's not forget, it's not only us that have got to go. The Acer team have got to go to Korea as well tomorrow. They're actually in Group A, aren't they? So they'll be the very first team playing on that very first day. So they're going to be hoping this is over and done with pretty soon as well, Joe.
Yeah, and we're seeing like a mirror start, as we have done for the last 2 games. And I'm almost losing the will to like talk seriously about the game. Not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie, but I am gonna give people the roster rundown since this is. You know what's gonna happen? They're gonna go down to that bottom, I think, in a minute, and they're possibly gonna fight over Gollum.
Here's a prediction: Janna's maybe gonna drop a ward here or somewhere around here. We're gonna see these 2 back away. Oriana's gonna come down, then she's gonna go back, and then she's gonna come behind the Golems and put the ball in there.
They've pulled back. Look, they've gone all the way back to the back there. Wow. So, anyway, if you have just tuned in, this is technically the 4th remake of this game due to internet connection issues. As far as I'm aware, that's the issue. So, for alternate, we're going to have Lycides on Sona, Cliffy on Riven, Sidio on Graves, Lord on Oriana, and Unso on Jarvan. For Acer, Team Acer, also aka Team Germany as well. Next week it will be Citizen on Xerath, N-Rated on Nocturne, Fami on Janna, Shabs on Gangplank, and of course Death Machine on Vayne. And this time they did not meet Joe, and they have taken the Golems, so immediately Alternate on the advantage that, to be honest, Sidio has been winning out this lane pretty early on every time, and managed to successfully miss the CS on that first one there, so that was good of him. So he's not starting off to a brilliant start. We do have a little bit of poke up the top there. Cliffy has had a visit from N-Rated already, so very early on stuff there. Jarvan is also coming back over towards that bush. Cliffy looking for N-Rated. They know that Shabs is there. He's going to come around the back side of him. In fact, no, he's going to go looking for N-Rated because he knows that N-Rated was already low on health, so he's going to try and sneak around the back side of him on these wraiths. He knows who's on red. As Oriana also got the ping, you can see Lord's trying to position himself. He's coming around towards N-Rated now. He's going to start beating on him. Hasn't put Damash's standard down yet. He won't be able to slide through. Does manage to put the exhaust down on him. Has got Lord now coming through. Xerath is also coming to help out, but I think N-Rated's going to get away from this one. Couldn't quite really get around in time. Up the top, though, Cliffy's also being poked back and forward. And down the bottom, it's business as usual.
Yeah, and this time Cliffy's gone as he did in the second game with that cloth armor right off the start. Obviously worked out a little bit better for him. He could handle that pressure from Gangplank that little bit better with that extra protection that he had there. As we see alternate again, as we saw in the other 2 games, putting on early pressure onto this turret. Already a decent, in fact there's going to be 2.5 waves of minions already on that turret by the time they've finished off here. He'll continue to get rid of them, and there's a good half dozen caster minions actually on that turret already. Cliffy and Shabs both below half HP at the moment, as we do see Cliffy just dropping the stun in, clearing out a very quick wave. You've got Nocturne and Rated, of course, going around to do his blue buff. Unso is double buffed at the moment. He's going to do the golems on the bottom side for alternate, which of course were taken early on in the game right at the start by Sidio, which gave him that little bit of experience advantage. Yeah, you can see there is around about half a level up in terms of XP over Death Machine. Lord and Citizen sit here inside of this middle area. And just to give you an update on the situation, like we said earlier, the ISP causing all kinds of problems at the event. What they've done is disconnected every internet connection in the entire venue apart from the streams and the players. Even the press and some of the ESL staff who have to do the online coverage as well. Oh, we actually see them pushing in onto Lord. Did get stunned up. Citizen going very, very low and in amongst all of that though. Lord fancies his chances to put a bit more pressure down. His bottom lane for alternate going decently so far in terms of CS, 34 to 26. So Sidio does have that slight advantage right at this start and already level 4. to level 3 of Vayne. And we did see Doran's blade start actually for Graves. Obviously he does have that heal, so doesn't really need to be too worried about the pot situation. However, Death Machine did start with boots and pots and has already run out of pots from that one as well, as N-Rated starts to move in and actually just missing out there onto Pharrell Lord, who does get himself out into the safety of his turret. He seems to be doing well at dodging all these abilities that come flying his way. Nocturne is there as well. Unso is starting to work his way up, and N-Rated is going to start these wolves, and Unso, N-Rated's got a bit of a sniff, I think, that he might be there. They're going to go for the kill here. They're going to go for this first blood onto N-Rated. Is there an exhaust or whatever in there? There's lots of damage. There is no exhaust, but there is an ignite, and Pharrell Lord is going to get himself first blood in this third game. Good start once again for Alternate Demon. Yeah, I feel like I've said that 3 million times already today.
Well, they've certainly had a lot of practice against one another already. They said at the start of the game in them interviews, if you can remember, if you can cast your mind back when those interviews were that were expertly translated by Joe, and they said, you know, these two practice against each other quite a lot. They do find themselves pretty even in partnerships, and you can see Citizen actually getting targeted. Has been ulted by Oriana. He's going to surely slide away from this one. Unso doesn't have the mana to be able to mash his standard and slide straight through with that Dragon Strike, so instead he has had to back away. Sidio actually has picked up the first blood for the last few times. This time they're not falling for it down the bottom there. They are still fighting on the turret. They're going to get caught with a Howling Gale as well, and another slow Zephyr from Fami, but just forced the back away. N-Rated has returned to his jungle and has actually fell behind in his build as well, because he's been caught out by that way. Normally he's been starting with a Madreds, hasn't been able to build it this time though.
Again, Sidio putting the early damage out onto Death Machine. Starts to push out a bit more from that turret. Alternate have kept the pressure up here, and of course we haven't seen Sidio go home just yet. Death Machine also not. These two AD carries, let's have a look at their gold at the moment. Graves 1680 and Vayne 1480. There's a couple of hundred gold in front here is Sidio. As they continue, it's actually Lycades who's putting out the damage onto Death Machine there, forcing this bottom lane of Acer to stick very, very defensively onto the turret. Zerath just coming up back towards that middle area. Pharrell Lord going to come take a little bit of damage. Citizen charged himself up. And Pharrell Lord, so far, Demon, in all 3 games that we've seen, has played very, very strongly.
Yeah, and of course he's got that blue, which is going to fade from him in a moment, which he stole off N-Rated, and you can see that actually Unso is going walkies straight towards N-Rated. I always put Demacia standard down, couldn't actually see him because he'd pulled it back into the brush there. So
that's why you pull it into the brush.
Exactly, yeah, very nicely played there. So if he'd have actually gone looking himself, he would have definitely seen him walk straight into it. Pharrell Lord having another poke on Citizen. Citizen not actually having as much joy this time as he has been in the previous matches. He's got himself 2 Dorans up towards the top. They are going to go towards Cliffy, but he's surely going to get out of this one. The Fear proc will go off. No, it won't, because he quickly dashes out of it. And nicely played. Cliffy's he's expertly tried this many times. They've tried to gank him at the top here, and I don't think once they've managed to actually properly pin him down. We did see Jarvan in the last game managed to get into one there, and then Sidio has actually flashed on towards Death Machine. Death Machine down at bottom has managed to cleanse off that exhaust. Hand flashed away, very nicely done, because Sidio pretty much had him banged to the right set, but did not finish him off. Meanwhile at the top there, Cliffy is going on towards Shabs. Shabs taken down to half health, and actually pretty low on mana as well, so he's not going to be able to orange himself up in terms of health. Let's have a look back down towards the middle. Like it, he's going to place that ward down. Has been back and got himself a Philosopher's Stone, so starting up those GP5s early. Zerath coming down towards the bottom. Meanwhile at the top though, he's continuing to put the pressure on towards Shabs here. And Cliffy, you got to feel now, after having 2 bites of the cherry really in this, he's kind of got it down on Shabs this time. He knows what he's doing against Gangplank. He's had plenty of experience.
Yeah, doing a really fine job this time is Cliffy, and we are going to see him go home again. That's the second time he's been home, and Madra Tracer is going to be picked up. He did, of course, finish off those boots, the Ninja Tabi, in his first trip back home. Death Machine, we have seen gone home. Berserker's Grieve, double Doran's Blade. Sidio, of course, has got the level 1 boots, but he's gone double Doran's Blade plus that Vampiric Scepter early on. Let's see how much of a difference that makes. 103, 80 to 99. So slight advantage there for Sadeo.
Oh no. Whew. Well, Cliffy was stood still at the top there, and I thought, oh god, and then Gangplank started porting back. I was like, oh, not again. But it's not happening. So okay, they are going to steal. Blue's going to go over towards Xerath actually there. So Xerath being given that blue for Eleanor's going to try and catch him on the way back with that ball. The range, of course, was limited. We do have Unso in the bottom lane at the moment, sat in that brush. Of course, Lycides is there. Lycides managed to pop it. Oh. Surely it's going to be Enrated diving straight in just at the wrong time. Will he manage to get in there? He will get a jump on him, but Enrated's going to walk away from this one. CDO can't quite catch him up. The slow really working very well from Fami there. And Lycides was blown back just really at the wrong time. Wanted to try and get ahead of them and possibly get that ulti across the lot, but instead Crescendo didn't quite hit its target. So I think he was quite lucky that N-Rated was there actually, because that would have almost certainly been a double kill down the bottom there. Instead, he decided to suddenly target him as soon as he ulted in there. Back towards the top, Shabs is got that Wriggles now completed along with the Ninja Tabby. Cliffy yet to go back. Oh, yes, he has. He's got a Madrid's Razor, so slightly further behind, but they're really actually starting to do a bit of damage to one another now. So it's getting serious up the top there. They feel they can push it a little bit more. They've had plenty of experience to know the exact limit that they can push to. Unso is still hanging around on the bottom here. Family porting back now, so Death Machine's going to have to be careful. Yeah, he's going to wisely back away from that one. So CS, how are we looking? 87 to 76 in mid, so Oriana with the slightest of advantages.
Like it, he's just pulled a minion into the brush where Unso was standing. Fail.
Unso's like, thanks, I was trying to port away. Meanwhile, talking about porting away, Riven's had to back away from the top there, which means Shabs and Enrated are both going to get in towards his tower and put a fair chunk of damage down onto it. There's at least 4 minions still there. They might even be able to take it down. Yeah, they're probably going to tank it further, and they'll just finish it off. Yes, they will do. So first tower is going to go to Acer this time, and that is the first time in the last 3 matches we've had. It is still 0-0, but it is the last 3 matches we've had that it has gone to Acer. If you've just tuned in, this is the 3rd remake we've had so far. So slight gold advantage now going to Acer, and of course only a 1-0 lead as well. Alternate had been taking 3-4-0 leads, and you know it's got to be falling into Acer's hands to have a better start this time around.
Yeah, they're going to be happy about that one. Obviously the last couple of games the start was a little bit slow for them. We do see Sadeo coming back into this bottom lane now. Does have his BF sword plus that Vampiric Scepter, so he's not going to be all that far away from completing that Bloodthirster, which is the item we've seen him go for in the second game. In the first game, I don't think we even got that far, to be honest, that he could afford that. Vayne is still sitting around, and we saw Vayne in the last game sitting on a lot of gold, and again sitting on 600 or so, at 1600 I should say. Well, this could be dangerous for Sadeo. Death Machine is actually under there. We are seeing Citizen coming as well. Here we go. Death Machine going to pin Sadeo against the wall. Gangplank ulti comes in. That is a very dead Sadeo. Will they try and dive in on Lycides, who's down to around about 3/4 HP? They won't, but still job done. And that will be a kill back, actually, for Acer.
Yeah, and a Dragon as well. I think will follow. Pink ward goes down. Fami clears out that ward. Will they go up for it? They are just going to clear out the top here. Cliffy's actually going to walk straight in towards Xerath's beam there. Nicano pulse for Lord. He's just going to keep peeking around. He has got his ulti up. He's going to try and catch a few of them in it. He's just going to leave that ball hanging, as it were. That's the back away there. They are on a 4-on-5. Actually, no, it's a 4-on-4 because Gangplank is up there. Now Gangplank pulls down. They're going to go for it. Pops the ulti. Is buffed straight away, sorry. And that's going to force them away. And immediately they're going to turn around and go back towards Dragon. But this is all buying time for Graves to get back here. They're going to try and pull this Dragon out and get it down quick enough. Expect Citizen to be charging up and trying to zap straight across him. Yes, he will do. And that's going to be the Crescendo coming in across from Lycides there. Going to dive in. The ulti from Oriana, nicely done. Fami's going to get caught out there. Nocturne and Rated did go down. Surely Fami is going to follow, although he's making a good chance for it to get away. Graves will actually try and bookshot, and he dodges it, then flashes through. Fami, can he buy enough time to be able to get to the turret to obviously suicide onto that turret? Yes, he will. Oh no, Lycides actually picked up the kill. It wasn't quite long enough in the timer. Death Machine also having to go on Sadeo there, but well, fair play, and Oh well, giving a kill to a support's not the end of the world. But 3-1, and a dragon actually did go to Acer in amongst all that, didn't it?
Yeah, that was an intro. Obviously, Jana didn't really have much call, but fair plays. You managed to stay alive for quite a while there. It would have been probably in our best interest to go backwards from that point, to be honest, and go to the first turret. But still, whatever. It went to the support, which, like you said, Deman, is not the end of the world. Although it's allowed Sona to get that Oracles up already and start to clear some stuff out. Citizen going around about half HP there in the middle. Lord trying to keep that damage going. He's actually going to stop him from portaling back. That will annoy Citizen somewhat, but N-Rated and Fami are coming in, and Lord needs to watch out. He's not super healthy at this point, but he does have a 4-level advantage over N-Rated, which could certainly turn the tides of any possible 1v1 that would happen there. N-Rated, of course, not going to take that one. We are going to see Shabs return to his top lane, where Cliffy is waiting, has just pushed a few minions in towards that turret range. So, we do have BF Sword and the dagger completed here for Vayne. Sedeo still not quite finished in terms of Bloodthirst, although, yeah, he's got 8, or just gone over that 900 gold, so he can take that when he wants. They've pinged Citizen. There was a ward down in this top side of the bush. In the middle again for Lord. He's going to do a load of damage. Ignite goes down onto N-Rated, but he'll survive that one. No problem. He used his ulti in there amongst that as well. Well, down at bottom, we do have Jarvan hanging around there, going to try to defend from what Acer throw at them, and maybe Unso is going to go in for this one. Ah, brilliant Howling Gale will slow him down, and Sideo's hitting minions there. Lord telling everyone to stay back, don't make the push for that one. We're going to fall foul. We will see Fami head himself back. Zerath going in towards middle as well. But Death Machine now needs to be a little bit cautious, Deman, because we are going to see Unso moving. He still does have that ulti up. And, ulti missed there. Death Machine uses cleanse even though he wasn't in range of the ulti.
Well, we talk about some excellent ultis on that crescendo from from Sona, but that was a terrible one. Meanwhile, at the top there, Shabs is continuing to put the pressure on towards Cliffy. Couldn't quite finish him off though. Remember, there is no tower up there, no security. And as soon as N-Rated went missing in the mid, actually, he just had to back right away. They were having a good go at each other during all that. I was trying to keep my eye on the health on the right-hand side, the health bars of Shabs. He did get taken down pretty low. So Death Machine continues to farm up. And CS, let's have a look at them between them all. Zerath has had a little go in the middle there, but he has fell behind Ariana. 142 to 121 as he zaps a lane's worth of minions. Down the bottom, Death Machine, 132 to Graves' 148. So slight disadvantages there, but of course it is one support kill, or assist, I guess you could say, for Vayne. Meanwhile, the supports, Sona's got a kill and an assist. Meanwhile, it's one death and one assist for Jana. Of course, the junglers have been doing a pretty good job, but Unso so far has been the better with the 2 assists and the 2 deaths for N-Rated. Despite the fact he's been doing a pretty good job in the jungle, he's just been unlucky really with the his choice of ulting in, and it's caught him out. So Acer are going to try and invade here. There's a lot of pings going down. Oh, they've just seen it. There you go. Cliffy's just come in to put it down, and he's going to miss out because N-Rated's picked it up already. Cliffy's going to continue to try and pressure. There's only actually Cliffy and Unso here, though, so they need to be careful. As soon as Acer realise, hang on a minute, we're a 3-on-2, why don't we turn around and go for this one? They're going to continue to back away. N-Rated's not the healthiest. Jarvan's going to jump straight in, and N-Rated will go down. That's going to make it. Surely they can get up towards Citizen. Citizen is very weak up close, is what they're trying to do. Manages to flash out, zap straight across. Very nicely done. Citizen is going to walk away with a swift 40 hit points, and Lord joining the party just far too late. Very nicely done from Citizen there, picking up, I think, a double. If I can have a look across, yeah, I think you've got both kills. Very nicely played. 4-3 now the kills, and that's even things up again. Still the gold advantage slightly in the favour of Acer. Obviously picking up that dragon really is the telling difference. As down the bottom, Death Machine actually popping his ulti there. Not really sure if he needed to. And Sedeo had tried to put grid pressure on him. I think it was more of a case of a back off. This ain't happening. But top lane, that will be the tower finally going down. We'll pick that one up. So we are even in turrets, and that's going to make it even in gold, Joe.
Yep, 24.1 to 24.2, super level game right now. As we see Death Machine putting out a bit of damage here onto Lycades, and look how painful he's hurting right now. Lycades needs to be careful. We've seen him caught out a couple of times actually. However, there were a couple of great moves from as well down at bottom. Pharrell Lord just getting a ton of damage put onto him by Citizen in middle. Actually, Cliffy is hanging around, so this dragon surely is round about time to spawn. Lycades moving in just will put a ward on that ramp, and to be honest, Acer are nowhere near in range to be challenging for this dragon. It's gone before they can even have a sniff at it.
Yeah, Alternate were very quick on that one. They were in position, ready and waiting, obviously just taking down that top turret. Rapidon's death cap nearly completed on Citizen. Obviously those couple of kills he just picked up helped him out. Pharrell Lord went Rod of Ages earlier ago. Again now building up towards that Rabadon's death cap, so it will actually be stronger when he eventually gets it, but it's just a longer path. So those Doran's rings don't stack into anything. So that early advantage that Xerath may have had will slip away. So Oriana's going to be pretty strong. So whether he can use that ulti, I recall in the second game he just wasn't using the ulti at the right time, and he's probably going to have learned from that. I guess the teams would have had a chat while they were waiting for service. Oh, look at that, they knew the Death Machine was porting there, just using the dash there. So there, I can never remember the damn name of it. It's quick draw, that's the one, isn't it, where you leap forward. That's it, gaining the attack speed. Movement speed, sorry. Death Machine, instead of porting back, he's gone, you know what, if you're going to interrupt me, I'll just get a load more CS. Now I've got 2,000 gold. Shall I spend it? No, there's another wave coming in. I think I'm going to get more gold. I've got a friend that does exactly this, and he just doesn't go back and buy when he really should do. There's absolutely no reason. Meanwhile, in the mid, though, they are going in towards Citizen. They have popped the ulti. Unso's surely going to finish him off. He will jump on him, pounce on his head. Oriana gets the kill. Enrated now the target as well. Enrated has popped his ulti on towards Pharrell, though. Pharrell will try and pull the ball back for the shield. Will manage to do it as well. Gets the slowdown on towards Shabs and Enrated. Unso going to back away wisely, but the rest of the teams are all pulling into the same direction. Death Machine coming up the top there. They're going to come around the side there. They are going to back away just about. Ignite is on Enrated. Graves comes around. Death Machine also taken down very low. The whole Acer team are ready and waiting to be killed off. Janna uses her ulti very wisely and just drops them all away at the perfect moment and saves the rest of the team. Very nicely played there from Alternate, and very nicely played from Janna, playing the perfect support role, Joe.
Yeah, brilliant ulti. That's the situation that it's called for. And now we are seeing Alternate now. They're going to take this middle turret. They possibly could have the bottom turret as well. They do have Sadeo and Lycades pushing in. They do have a siege minion moving in there as well. So I fancy that they'll go try and take this one down, I guess. I think they're going to have it, to be quite honest with you. Just judging by that, yeah, so that turret will go down, and that will give a 3-1 advantage in the turret to Alternate, of course, in terms of kills. 2-0-2 is the score right now for Oriana, 2-1-0 on Riven as well. Over on the other side, we have that 2-1-1 for Xerath and 1-0-2 on Gangplank. And now we finally see Vayne buying. Surprise, surprise, after going super low and almost being taken out in amongst things. And yeah, so Bloodthirster plus Zeal is there, which is exactly what we're seeing over on her opposite member, or opposite number I should really say. The other AD carry, which of course Graves. And in terms of CS down there, 207 to 193, so Graves is slightly ahead, Demon. And I should say, however, we do have Vayne with the assist compared to Graves' one death.
Yeah, and Vayne actually gone Bloodthirster this time instead of building up towards that Infinity Edge like he did before. Actually went Infinity Edge and Trinity Force, so he's gone back to Bloodthirster Zeal, a bit more of a standard build for the AD carries. In the mid, Lord, well, he's catching up, and that really helped, that little foray they had there. Citizen has completed that death cap, so he's up to, what, 322 AP? Now, Pharrell will be behind at the moment, yeah, 289, but as soon as he gets that depth cap completed, he will be up in the 400 range, so it's going to work out well. And it is working in the favour of Alternate here. They've not really had much luck pushing the towers at the moment, Acer. They got that one at the top, that was really a case of Gangplank, although the mid is down to 248 health, so it just needs a strong breeze, really, to come through, and possibly a couple of bolts from Vayne. And they are going to push on towards his bottom one. It has actually all just been ported back. They could easily push on if they can clear this wave quick enough. Xerath is there. They will get on towards this turret. I don't think Sona's going to be able to do anything about it. There's only 1,000 hit points on this one. Meanwhile, I'm keeping my eye on the middle there. I can see Riven and Orianna poking around N-rated, and they are going to get on towards this turret, and that's going to be the shield of the Death Machine, and an easy second turret for Acer. So 3-2 in terms of turrets. Like I say, that middle one could easily be taken down. That one might draw it completely even again. And for the third time, Joe, we're seeing a very even game between these two.
Yeah, and that was a great bit of insight there from Sedio. He's realised that Citizen was inside of that bush just by the way that, you know, Death Machine moved around that entire situation. And I say that, and he's now sitting a little bit more forward, but Xerath has gone home anyway. We'll see. Yeah, Jarvan coming down. Actually, Paul not quite going to work out there for Fami, and no, they're not going to chase in for that one either. Let's have a look up at the top. Cliffy and Shabs both very, very healthy. Frozen Malik now finished on Cliffy, and Shabs, well, also, in fact, they've got literally, yeah, oh, not quite. There is the longsword. The slight difference there in Cliffy's favour.
So the red being pulled back, and that's going to go to Shabs this time around by the looks of it. Rated's backing away from that one and allow him to have it. Pin goes down in the river at the moment. I'm just trying to think how long ago Dragon was. It was a while, so this actually pulls us to the attention that it would be nice to have a flag or something saying I did see a comment on Reddit earlier about it. It is something that we've mentioned a few times actually about having timers on there. I mean, we're not pro players, we're not sat there staring at the timer. There it is. We can generally know when it's happening though. The players kind of tell us, don't they? And that's going to be another very quick dragon taken from Alternate there. I thought Pharrell Lord maybe going to go ulti on towards Death Machine there. Possibly could have been followed up by the rest of his team. Instead he's going to back away, using his ulti much more wisely as well this time around. Pharrell Lord. And like I say, now he's got that Rabinol's death cap complete. He is up to 401 AP, so very strong at the moment. Alternate actually looking a lot more confident in this game than they have been before. Once they got to this stage last time, they seemed to hesitate a little bit. They certainly seem to be getting ready to push the pace more. Cliffy definitely seems more confident against Gangplank. He's going to clear out that top wave, but he's not going to get much further because already Death Machine and Gangplank are coming back to clear him away. He's going to get all excited there, and then he's going to back straight away. Death Machine's going to continue to try and push the pace on him though. Don't think it's going to follow through, although wisely probably could have. By looking back towards the middle, you can see 3 people poking back and forward, and it's looking like a bit of a gathering, Joe.
Yeah, they're stacking up here, and we could see that Citizen just started a charge. There is a ward in that brush, as we do see the attack coming up on the top. They're focusing in on Shabs, who surely is a dead man in amongst all this. He's survived so long, though, and that could be to the detriment of Alternate. We are going to see surely Unzo go down. Yes, he will. Who's going to be next? Cliffy is now the focus of N-Rated and Death Machine, and Cliffy is a dead man. It's Death Machine that picks up the kill. Death Machine does have an ignite on him. Like it, he's looking for that kill, which he manages to pick up. It's now Deo in and amongst everything. He's got Fami and Xerath in there as well. N-Rated has just flashed down towards Deo. Surely this is going to be another kill, and it goes to Citizen. Great play, and there is the ace. 5 for 2. An amazing fight for Acer. And for me, Demon, they went about that all wrong. They spent so much time focusing down that Gangplank up there. By the time they killed him and, you know, switched to other targets, they were all so low in health, they just couldn't do it.
Yeah, and probably the tankiest member in there as well. As I say, he got that Frozen Mallet earlier on, he got the armor, he got the Ninja Tabby. It was just the wrong target at the wrong time, and they blew all their abilities. And they knew Acer were there because they were all coming up behind them. They could see them, they were visible. But instead, they are going to pick up a Baron here. I wouldn't say it's going to be an easy Baron because Citizen's really bordering on it with 300 hit points, but he will take the Baron. And Unso was coming up to take a peek. So, the rest of the team, all 5 members of the team got that Baron, by the way. It took them just about long enough for everybody to catch up, and Death Machine was back up. So what will they do with it? 8-7, they have that gold advantage. They are down on the towers, but that's really only a matter of course because that middle one is pretty much gone. And Joe, they're going to go back on buy by the looks of it. Let's keep our eye. Oh yeah, Atmar's impaling out to go with that Frozen Mallet on Gangplank. So he's going to be hurting, along with the armour that he's already got with it. Phantom Dancer completed by Graves, and Vayne actually is got nearly 2,000 gold sat on him again, so he does want to be looking at completing that Phantom Dancer soon. As Lycades finds the opportunity to get a quick bit of CS there in the middle. quick, no one's looking. Let me get a quick bit of CS. And Fami, with that Oracle, is clearing out the wards over at Dragon. So expect a bit of jungle invade. You can see Alternate are actually grouping up here, though. They're thinking maybe we can push forward, and Acer are not grouped at all. They're just trying to clear the lane so they can push each lane, so they don't need to worry about it at the moment, which is why Xerath is way down the bottom, Death Machine's all the way at the top, and Alternate are kind of like a 5-man in mid going, what's happening? Don't know.
Yeah, and Acer will be used to this situation that Alternate find themselves in now. Obviously a little bit behind. Their opposition does have that Baron. They managed to defend it nicely against Game in the semi-final. Oh, massive damage there coming out onto Fami. How much AP does Orianna have now? 408. Not quite as much as Xerath, and this turret is going to go down absolute instantly. The question is, what's the next idea from Acer? They're pinging around, and I hope for their sakes that they make more use than just one middle turret of this Baron buff. Actually, Lord's just come back, and I think that could be the signal to push even more for Acer. And luckily for them, they don't really have the minion wave to contend with that. They are just making sure that they get enough poke, and here we go. They are going to push in for another turret takedown with Lord having portals back. They'll certainly fancy their chances in with that one. They've taken it just above half HP. And they're going to wait for that next wave to come streaming in. There's a constant poke coming out. Really, Pharrell's the one that can do the biggest poke over with the Alternate side. However, Acer, you know, they've got that Nocturne, they've got the good old Xerath ridiculous range. They try again to get in on this turret. It's Vayne that's obviously doing a lot of damage in there. Actually, ulti comes out from Orianna. They're going to go in for this one. Gangplank ulti comes in. Fami is going to go down. This looks like it could be an amazing fight for Alternate. We are seeing N-rated falling very low. Shabs is low. Citizen is still actually there in the middle. He's going to try and force some power back, but I think Citizen is dead. Yes, he is. Shabs will be chased down here by Sadeo. Just uses quick draw to try and get in range. And I think they've realised that they can't quite get these last two men. But I tell you what, 3 for 1 with the enemy having a Baron in their hands, that's a great advantage, it's a great exchange for Alternate.
It was a fantastic exchange, and Lord really landing that ulti to start things off very well. And Graves was quickly on the opportunity, immediately ulted straight across onto, it was Death Machine actually got caught, wasn't it, I believe.
Yeah, he focused on the tower the whole time, and he just stayed that a little bit too long, and Alternate jumped on it. Really great play from them.
It's the classic, I can get it. Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah,
no, I
my
can't.
team as well.
Yeah, and so Dragon also picked up, and that's going to pull the gold back even. Remember, obviously, the Baron does give them a nice chunk of gold, which is where the advantage is. 10-9 in kills. Very much even on towers with 3 apiece. Graves is going to go back and buy. What will he pick up? That's the question. Is he going to go for a last whisper, a bit more damage maybe?
Death Machine's gone Trinity Force again.
He has gone Trinity Force again, of course, because he had the Zeal sat there, so he's obviously happier going that way. And it does give like a bit of all. The Trinity Force is a very, I wouldn't say underrated item, because it's been pretty hyped up of late, but it certainly was underrated for quite a while. It's a pretty expensive one, but it certainly is worth its value. 459 AP now for Lord in the mid there on Orianna. Xerath up to 417. So he had that Void Staff, looking like he's probably going to go towards a Rylers as well. Just had a mere sheer moment of panic as I saw 3 people teleporting all at the same time. Just had to check if anyone else was actually moving, but they were, so it's all good. We're still in there. So at the moment, the highest kill at the moment is 521, which is Xerath. Sid and Wayne doing a very good job. Orianna 316. And Orianna didn't have much luck in the first few games, to be honest, but is certainly much better than this one. And they need to be careful. He could easily just pop his ulti onto them there. And they do realise that the danger that they were in there. N-rated and Shabs backing straight away. And I think, unfortunately, Joe, after that Baron sort of been knocked off them while they attacked. I think it's actually put the game back into a stalemate situation, because neither team is quite sure if they attack whether they're going to come off better. And obviously at this stage, if someone does lose a big team fight like they just did, chances are you're going to definitely lose a base turret and possibly an inhibitor to follow.
Yeah, at this stage, 35 minutes in. The great thing for both sides, I mean, even if they do end up, if that ends up happening, the gold is still very, very close here. And I guess this next Baron is going to be a massive decider between these two teams in this first match. Don't forget, it is still 0-0 in this best of 3, despite the fact this is technically the third game. So far, so good, as I touch wood. You see the wards are all indicative of the Baron wait out. And actually Riven's up at top, so just getting that little bit of farm before she comes back down to help. Jarvan just clearing Wraith, but I'm sure he'll be headed that general direction as well. And like it is, there's a ward. Yeah, I spotted that. So cleared out nicely. There are no wards around at all for Acer at this point of it. And alternate are all here hanging around. There was one ward put down, and that's going to force Janet to back away. Actually, Clairvoyance was put down as well. I think that was from alternate. As they are now pinging over towards Baron. So alternate, I tell you what, Demon, they have their timings down pretty much spot on. We saw that with the Dragon earlier. The question is, are they going to be fancying sticking around here? Oh, look at the damage onto Fami. Almost half of his HP stripped straight off. This Landlord looks for more poke. There is Xerath actually at the back, and look at these. He goes under half HP from that. Unso taking damage in the back as well, and Unso's actually fancying his chances here. This is going to be a game-on situation for alternate. They're really fancying this as we start seeing the damage put down onto Enrate, and I'm not sure that's Cliffy's best target. What's he doing? Oh, he was fierce. I didn't see that. Why is he running that way? That doesn't make any sense. And then he backs away, and it looks like they are going to be going to start this Baron. Actually, Sadeo will be the man to start off. Obviously, he did go Phantom Dancer as his second major item, as opposed to the Trinity Force that we saw for Vayne. And I don't know, I think Phantom Dance is a little bit more cost effective in terms of what you're looking for with those AD carries. However, Vayne, feel free to prove me wrong in this one as they continue to do Baron, and Baron won't be stolen away. Gangplank's actually portaled in there. Cliffy's the one now in trouble. Fear will proc onto him, surely going to go down. That's a great ulti though coming out. Ulti from Graves, ulti from Sona. They're going to push to finish off the kill. See, get Death Machine for God's sake in the back of Baron. Look how low N-rated is as well. There is Citizen popped by a ball, and now N-rated has to run for his life. I am not sure that he's going to manage this one, as alternate did just slow down. Finish off the tower now, as Forellenlord is actually the one that's tanking it. Unso is tanking it now. And it's not super high, but definitely got enough HP to finish that one off. So Baron in the hands of alternate. There are no buffs around, guys.
Why don't they
go top? We have this top turret that's completely stacked with minions, and they're going back for shopping.
Well, I mean, that's fine. They could have took the top turret and then gone back. There was no reason for that, but obviously they wanted to buy. They're going to make a complete buy, full health, everyone, and clear out, and away they go again. So there's nothing to be worried about. Riven was down. Riven now with a BF sword and a last whisper. He's really going to be hurting when he does get fear procced. Last whisper also on Graves. Death Machine on the opposite side has actually gone for Banshee's Veil.
It's a good idea at this stage, I think.
Yeah, worried about Orianna, and rightly so. Shams actually got Spirit Visage to go with that Atmars he had earlier, and a Giant's Belt now as well, so maybe building into an a Warmogs as well in there. A bit late in the game, but still perfectly viable. And Dragon almost certainly going to be taken by Alternate. And this is all but the first Dragon, I think. Alternate have taken pretty much every single one. And that's obviously the first Baron they've taken, so it's put them quite far in the gold. Putting a double ward down is never the greatest idea, but it's when you're putting them down in the same fraction of a second. Here they go, they're going to push in towards the inhibitor. Acer are in a defensive position. They're going to have to get themselves ready. Gangplank is actually a long way back. He's teleporting back at the moment, but surely this turret's going to go down before he even manages to finish off pressing port. Yes, it will do, and that's going to be the inhibitor surely going to follow. Vayne had to pop her ulti there to try and knock back Cliffy, and Cliffy actually taken down very low. Will surely get popped off by Xerath instead. No, and Rating diving onto him. Cliffy's still hanging on in there. Does finally get taken down. Crescendo get a popped. Orianna ulti destroying the Acer there. End Rating taken down very low. Unso leaping across. It's going to be surely Shams is the next target. Meanwhile, Death Machine makes a run for the hills. Tries to turn around a little bit on towards Sadeo, but Sadeo has now Orianna with him. Don't think that tower's even going to save you there, son. And that inhibitor has gone down. And this time, Alternate are hoping the internet does not die, because it is 40.5 minutes into this game, and surely the Nexus turrets will follow with the Nexus to boot. Very nicely played, Alternate. Finally, we are going to have a 1-0 state. It is a best of 3, ladies and gentlemen. Do not go anywhere. We potentially have 2 more matches to go, and Joe's girlfriend is absolutely going to slaughter him.
Well, that's, 3 games, there was a lucky 3rd. Yes! Always heard that 3 times the charm. But yeah, great play from Alternate. It was a super close game throughout, and I'm really excited to see now, Deman, a fresh game. Not gonna lie, this 3rd game has been so heavily influenced by the last 2, especially that top lane, I'd say. Riven really adapted so well to Gangplank over 3 different games. I think that made a difference. Obviously, they managed to win that one. So Alternate do go 1-0 in the lead. I'll bring up the post-score board here for you so you can take a quick look down. Sadeo with Graves 4-5, Cliffy on Riven 2-4-5, Lycades 2-10 with Sona. For Ellenlord, that was the big one, Deman, 7-1-8 with Orianna, and Unzo 1-2-14. Great jungle play from Jarvan, who had that Warmogs built up at the end. Does it show that? No. I really wish they'd add that to the scoreboard as well after the game, so you could see how full the certain items were. For Acer, Janna 0-3-7, N-rated on Nocturne 1-4-7, Citizen on Xerath 5-4-2, Shabs on Gangplank 2-2-7, and Death Machine on Vayne 3-3-3. So, we're going to be starting off this second game. I hope instantly, the guys over at the event have taken a quick break, so we're going to be doing the same, and when we come back, guys, it will be the second game of this grand final at the BenQ Finals for League of Legends between Alternate and Acer. The scoreline 1-0 for Alternate. Don't go anywhere.